Hey everyone, welcome back to the Underswell. I'm Derek Sabori, and today I'm here with these guys, Hydro Flask. Today we're going to talk about, or do another segment on how sustainable is. So the question is, how sustainable is a Hydro Flask drinking bottle? Well, let's dive in and have a look and see where they rate on the sustainability meter. All right, so as you know, when we are diving in and looking at sustainability, it's super important that we look across the entire life cycle of a product. One of the things that I always ask my students when they come into class, especially when I was in the classroom setting, was I wanted to ask them, to you, what does sustainability mean? And a lot of times people would pull out their water bottle that was on their desk and say, you know what, to me, this is sustainable, or this is sustainability. Great. Well, why is that? Why do we relate sustainability to our drinking bottles? I can tell you why. Because for consumer use, this is great because we're getting a lot of use out of this and it'll last a long time and we can reuse it over and over, right? Remember the old saying, reduce, reuse, recycle? Well, the simplicity of sustainability, it's not quite that simple, but reuse is great. So if we can eliminate a single-use plastic water bottle and reuse and refill, this sends a great message. One of the things that I do love about reusable bottles is they send a great message. You're telling somebody that, hey, I'm into this more than I am the plastic water bottle that is going to be used and disposed, maybe recycled. So this sends a strong message. But as far as Hydro Flask is concerned, the company that makes probably one of the most popular water bottles, this is the one that I use every day. This is the one that my son just got from the college that he's going to, Orange Coast College. This is one of the most popular ones. You see it everywhere. It's a great brand. I love it. Great quality products. But I wanted to dive in and have a look to see if we're talking about sustainability, how was it made? Where was it made? What are the materials that went into it? How was it powered? How was the supply chain powered? How were people treated along the way? Yes, consumer use, this is great. We're gonna get a lot of reuse out of it, but let's dive in and have a look at their website and see what we love about Hydro Flask and if really they can hit the mark as sustainable or not. Now, when we dive in and have a look at the water bottle, so we do know that the water bottle it's more than just it appears, right? So it's made of stainless steel. It's vacuum sealed. It's got a double pane, a double liner in it. We've got a silicone rubber band that really helps tighten things in here. We've got the plastic BPA free, according to their website, plastic cap. We've got some more metal that's on here. This one is just etched, so I don't see any inks or anything that were used for screening. So we would have to dive in and look to see, and this one's the same thing as well. Let's dive in and have a look at their website and see if we can find out where some of these materials come from, how they're processed, how they're powered, and if they're doing any language or any communication around sustainability on how their products are made. Ready? Let's have a look at the website. Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Well, let's have a look here. We're gonna dive into the Hydro Flask website. I wanna get a sense of their sustainability approach, what their commitments are, if they have any targets, if they have any initiatives, if they're talking to us about traceability in their supply chain. Essentially, the Hydro Flask water bottle seems like such a simple product, right? We know it's made of stainless steel, we know there's some plastics, we know there's some silicone in there, but what is all that? How is all of that made? Do they talk to us about it? Well, the first thing I do here when I come to their website, we know that Hydro Flask and reusable water bottles are great because that's exactly it. They are reusable and they're helping to get you off of the single-use mindset and the single-use lifestyle. So that's great. So it looks like they're doing some donation here to parks, which is cool. And there's some philanthropy, but we're really focused right now on what they're doing in their supply chain. I want to know how these bottles were made from cradle, as we say, from the beginning, all the way to grave. Do they have a take-back program at the end of life of these bottles? Are they recycling them, or is it left to us, to the customer? So I don't see a whole lot on sustainability here. If I come down here, about us, I see some pro deals, FAQ, contact shipping, warranty. What I do like, we know that warranty and durability, that's a big part of sustainability. So one thing I did note is that Hydro Flask has a lifetime warranty. So that incentivizes even more use, getting a lot of use out of these bottles. So what they're hoping is that you buy one, it's gonna last for a long time, and rather than buy one over and over and just keep disposing of it, that you really keep these. They'll fix your caps if you have any issues with your caps, any insulating properties, anything that's related to your bottle. Looks like they handle it, so that's great. So I'll take that. I love that about the product. Care and cleaning. They're talking to us about keeping your products in good shape, so some care and cleaning. But let's have a look and see if we can find anything else regarding sustainability. I'm gonna go up here and do a search, and oops, we couldn't find what we were looking for. All right, so maybe, let's see here. We'll see what comes up here. Try that again. Sustainability. Do they have anything on their website relating to sustainability? So they've got these reusable kids lunch bundles. Maybe they're using some recycled materials or something in there. I don't really see any promotion of anything that has to do with better material choices, talk or discussion about their supply chain, some more donation information there. So that's something. So really we're kind of stuck with not a lot. Let's see if they're doing any messaging, let's say around climate change. Maybe they've got a commitment to reducing energy in their supply chains. The only thing is keeping your products cool or warm. So here's their difference. So they've got this temp shield, so it's double wall, vacuum insulated. Taste, it's 18/8 pro grade stainless steel, powder coated. So that's something. We don't really, unless you know about powder coating, what does that entail? Were there hazardous chemicals involved, etc.? Something we would probably have to dive in and learn about. But this lifetime warranty, like I said, that's what's really good, and I think that's important. But what I did is I did go over and find a website, and it's one that I've used before for different things. It's called How Products Are Made. And it's pretty good because I wanted to find out, dive in and have a look at stainless steel. I also wanted to come over here and find out about silicone. We know about a bit about plastic. We talk a lot about plastic already, but what's interesting, stainless steel is an iron-containing alloy. It's made up of 2 or more chemical elements, used in a wide range of applications. What I didn't realize is that there are more than 57 stainless steels recognized as standard alloys. So you can kind of see the raw materials. They're made of some basic elements that are found in the earth: iron ore, chromium, silicone, nickel, carbon, nitrogen, and manganese. These are properties of final alloy are tailored by varying the amounts of these elements. So nitrogen, for instance, it says, improves tensile properties like ductility. It also improves corrosion resistance, etc. But here's what's great, and this would be nice if Hydro Flask was talking about this, right? Saying, hey, here's how our bottles are made. First, we extract raw materials and we use X% of recycled materials, for example, or not, but they could tell us that. But we know that first the steel is melted, so it looks like there's a lot of energy, a lot of heat, then it's cast into its solid form. They go through melting and casting and forming. It's put together in an electric furnace, and then there's heat treatment, and they go through different heating treatments. We can read all about that. It's heated, it's cooled under conditions that relieve internal stresses and soften the metal. Some steels are treated for higher strength, etc. Then there's descaling, there's cutting, there's finishing, there's manufacturing at the fabricator or end user, quality control, etc. So there's a lot that goes in just to get the stainless steel that was in the water bottle, right? And then if we go over to the silicone, just that rubber, that silicone band that helps keep your cap sealed. This is really interesting as well. Different types of silicone rubber. This talks about the origins of it. So what is it made from? If you didn't know, silicone is a synthetic elastomer, as it is a polymer which displays viscoelasticity. That is to say, it shows both viscosity and elasticity. Colloquially, people call these elastic characteristics rubber. And since silicone itself is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and silicon. Note that the ingredient contained within silicone is spelt differently. The ingredient silicon comes from silica, which is derived from sand. Silica or silicon is the same thing that you're going to find in your solar panels, right? So this process of converting sand to silicon to put that into silicone is pretty interesting and probably pretty intense. The process to make silicon is complex and involves many stages. This arduous process contributes to silicone rubber's premium price compared to natural rubber. Natural rubber is going to be rubber, if they're referring to natural rubber, in the true sense, rubber that comes from trees. The silicone making process involves extracting silicon from silica and passing it through hydrocarbons. It's then mixed with the other chemicals to create silicone. So again, a lot of steps they've gone through here and talk about the benefits of it, what the melting point is, 150 degrees. So again, lots of heat, lots of energy used. So probably one of the best things that we can do when we're talking about the making of Hydro Flask bottles is making sure that it's powered with renewable energy all throughout, clean energy. And maybe it is, but Hydro Flask isn't talking about that. So I'd love if they did. Well, let's see, what else is interesting as well? Oh, here's a great site as well that talks about how actually Hydro Flask bottles are made. And so they tell us here, you know, the body, and this is a different site, it's called waterbottle.tech, but stainless steel, BPA free plastic, and we know that plastic is a derivative of fossil fuels. The solid silicone, the premium silicone, you've got this flex boot that they talk about, so there are all the issues. They've got some cool videos in here, but they tell us this is the value chain. These are the stages that a water bottle goes through. Manufacture the outer bottle, all the steps. Manufacture the inner bottle, assemble it. Bottle assembly, the bottle mouth welding, leaking testing, vacuuming, temperature test, electrolysis, mechanical polishing, cleaning, etc. Put the logo on, the printing, the coating, powder coating or spray painting. I would love for all of this to be on the Hydro Flask site, more so than on these third-party websites. Wouldn't that be great? Because that's what we are hoping that brands do, is that they are sharing this and talking to us about all of what goes into our products, how best to use them, and how to get the most life out of them. And then hopefully they're telling us, hey, this is what our footprint is. We know these are our impacts, and here's what we're doing to reduce them, even though some of this supply chain stuff seems maybe a little unsexy. But man, there is so much information to be gleaned out of this, and so much for us to learn as well, and questions to ask. And wouldn't it be great if they even went to us and started talking to us about, you know, the fact that yes, silicon is by far the most common semiconductor material that's used in solar cells, and just starting to help us all piece it together. It's not very often that we ask ourselves these questions about the products that we use every day. So going to the website, Hydro Flask is not giving us a lot when it comes to sustainability, the impacts of their products, the lifespan, the energy that was used, the water that was used, the waste that was created, supply chain issues. I would love to even see a supply chain map to know where they're making their goods. It's most likely, I would guess, made in China. So if I look at a sticker here on the bottom, yep, made in China, designed in Bend, Oregon. But as we go through here on the site, just not a lot. Maybe there's one thing here over on the About Us if we go to. So they've got a nice little video. We make thoughtful, beautifully designed gear that moves people towards nature, towards happy, and towards each other, because life is an adventure. We're glad to be with you. So that's good, sending a good positive message. Outdoors is our everything, but our outdoors are affected by the impacts of our business and our products and the way we make things. We know that, you guys know that. So this is gonna be really important for us to pick up on and hopefully push back a little bit on them and make some requests. Where we're from is part of who we are. So they talk about being from Bend, Oregon. Simplicity and design, and that is good. So designing products really simply using fewer inputs, that's great. So they're talking about simplicity in their design, but still not a whole lot on materials. And then they jump straight to their Parks for All. So this is their charitable program. So one thing that I would love to see, it's great when brands are donating to a cause or an organization that is doing great work. I think that is important, but I would love to see them doing some of that investing, this $2.5 million of investing into their supply chain, into renewable energy, into clean energy, into eliminating hazardous chemicals, dealing with effluent, healthy and safe work environments for their workers, etc. All of that. And again, maybe Hydro Flask is doing all of this. I don't know. We don't know, because I can't seem to find it here on their website. So I will give them a benefit of the doubt. And let's do one quick look and see Hydro Flask sustainability, and see if anything comes up here. So we have their regular website. We are Hydro Flask. We saw that. Is Hydro Flask sustainable? Somebody else talks. So they've got award-winning innovation here. They've got purpose at work, live up to its environmental purpose. So this was at Forbes. Let's see what Forbes found on them. Watermark for environmental and social responsibility. So here's a little article that we can look at. And sleek craze. So this is the story of the founders, it looks like, growth, So 1 million in sales by 2011. By 2016, they had caught the attention of the 2.1 billion Helen of Troy Limited, designer and developer. They were bought for 210 million. Big nominate, continues the day. Let's see, for big sales. So they're obviously a really big company. Hot on community engagement. So they get a lead with We Brand because its purpose and practice to continuously move from a narrow ME focus to a wider me focus, to a wider we focus. Help the collective live, work, and grow together. So that's cool. A World in Hot Water. Hydro Flask's ongoing Refill for Good campaign is its main rallying cry to help. And so this is what I said, right? This is hope to get consumers to ditch single-use plastics, which is great. But remember all those times we've talked about this idea of like, well, which is better? Plastic water bottle or this? Maybe it seems that this is better because we're reusing this over and over and over. And I'm sure if you keep this water bottle for a good 5, 6, 7, 10 years, the benefits outweigh for sure the impacts of plastic water bottles. But what if you don't? What if you lose it? What if they're making way more than they sell, etc.? We really need to be able to see what the footprint is of each of these bottles and how many times we have to use it, do some sort of life cycle analysis to see how many times we use it before it actually becomes a better product for us and our society, the environment, social impacts, etc., than that plastic water bottle. Because plastic water bottles, I'm sure, have become very efficient. They're making them fast, they're making a whole bunch with limited effort, etc. So who knows? These send a better message. This is a better product, of course, but I think you catch my drift. We've got to do some quantification here. So this whole approach to us get off of plastic and eliminate plastic pollution is great. But if this is being powered with so much heat and so much energy and there's so much, toxic runoff from the mining and the manufacturing that it outweighs the benefits of getting off of plastic, it's tough to answer. I would love to see some details from them. So that's really what they're getting. Doesn't seem like they're diving in again too deep here, but I'll leave this article in there for you as well. So, on the sustainability meter, hey, so if we're working backwards on our life cycle chain or process, I should say, at the end of life, consumer use, this is great. You're using it over and over, and you are eliminating single-use plastic water bottles, and you're sending a great message of reuse. So that's great. But as we work our way back upstream and we're getting into the value chain more, we really don't have any sense of how much energy, how much waste, how much water, what were the emissions, how were people treated, where was it manufactured, transportation costs, all of that. It's really kind of a black box. And so Hydro Flask, if you get this, we'd love to get some information from you and have you talk to us about your environmental and social impacts of your water bottle further upstream, way back in the supply chain. Start talking to us about how they were made, where they were made, what went into them, how you're measuring energy and emissions, etc. All right? So that's that. That's kind of the story behind the Hydro Flask water bottle. A lot of questions that are still to be answered. Go out there, maybe ask Hydro Flask, hey guys, we want to know more about your products. We want to know what's in them. How were they made? What's up with the steel? Where did it come from? How was it processed? How was your supply chain powered? What is your supply chain like? How are factory workers treated? What safety initiatives do you have in your supply chain for workers? How are workers being paid, etc.? Where did the plastic come from? What's up with the silicone? Powder coating? What type of facility was it done in? All of that. We'd love to kind of pull back the curtain and have you talk to us about your supply chain. Deeper upstream, further upstream, because it's great that you're doing philanthropy work, but we'd love to see that investment being put back up into the supply chain. And maybe it is. This is not a call out because we just don't know. There's not a lot on the website. So this is our call for Hydro Flask to give us some information if they've got it and talk to us about the great products because like I said, I use them all the time. And I'm even got my California representation sticker here, but use them all the time. They send a great message for reuse and eliminating the single-use plastic bottle, getting off of that. You don't want that anyway, but that's what we're here to say. So today on the meter, the Hydro Flask water bottle, does it make it to the sustainable green zone? It doesn't yet. It definitely is kind of like right up maybe in the middle because guess what? There's one part of our whole cycle that is approaching, reuse. And that is great. And consumer education, consumer engagement, perfect. But what about end of life? What do I do with these when these are done? And then most importantly, I think raw materials, processing, manufacturing, We don't have any insights into that, and I want those insights before I can really help get that meter over there. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope that was helpful. Hope you start breaking down and thinking about all the products that you're using in your life. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to keep you informed when watching videos. And if you want to learn more about sustainability, download my free 35 things that you've got to know to make sure that you are becoming an expert in sustainability, because that's the bottom line. All of us need to keep learning more. That's it. See you at the next video.